Welcome everybody back to some more EU4, or known as why does everything get black flagged when you peace out one person? So I had two stacks that were going to deal with Biapas and the Crimean area are going to have to come back before we continue the pursuit. Anyway, let's keep going on in our war against the Ottomans, and down south we're looking for their stacks, which we found one of them there, so let's get involved. Biapas, we were talking last episode, really small physically, but with gigantic amounts of development, which is pretty cool. Again, don't get to see it all that often. And hopefully this episode, I'm not sure if it picked up last episode, but the joy of recording in what is effectively a storage container, you get some background. So, fingers crossed, all be funky-dory. Or hunky-dory, I guess, as the phrase would be. It's close enough. Close enough. So, 22,000 stack on a mountain. We're just gonna again bite the bullet. Poland has decided that the impressive stack from Biapas, not actually that important, and maybe about as strong as Tapas rather than Biapas. That'd be good right now. Shouldn't record when you're hungry. A 22k stack is still on its way to Theodoro. It really it doesn't make any sense. Does Poland not have open borders with Lithuania, maybe is the problem? But you would think that they would go for the province that's maybe a 2-week walk away, as opposed to carpet sieging something that's 2 months away would make sense, but I don't know. The AI is too big brain for me, I guess, and I can't work out why they would do that. Okay, you're not black flagged. Go to Biapas. You can just go to Van. You should get rid of your black flag there. Please. You forget how slow the walking is around this part of the world. These provinces are big. It's not as big as the issue you get when you're playing as a nation up here in Russia, where it can feel like it's a couple of months walking between provinces. I mean, it's realistic, I guess, but it's real slow. And slow means attrition. I don't see any other stacks, though. How many troops does the Ottomans have? 38,000? Only 1,000 there. 1,000 there, so there's 36,000 troops unaccounted for, and I have no idea where they are. They have to be down here somewhere. Guess we don't need to take all 3 stacks over and get attrition for no reason. Oh, the Zuni Federation is giving a ton of stuff to Spain. That is a colony that's formed in one day. And it's going to be incredibly angry because look at the culture. Every province here is going to try and break away. Oh well, that's something for Spain to contend with when they invariably want to go in a coalition, and maybe we'll preemptively attack them again. We'll see. That's a problem for future Daniel. Present Daniel needs to move his mercenary stack now that it's no longer black flagged. You're going to go up to Crimea. 4,000 troops. Were they Yas troops? We'll wander over and deal with Yas at some point, but they are not building vertically like Biapas. They just have 7 development. So, not a concern. We also have to eventually get Crete sieged out so we can smack that stack of naval troops. But again, not a huge priority right now. Let's spread these out. Let's not get attrition for no reason. Yeah. Oh, there's the stack. There it is. It's black flagged as well. We found it. It took us a while. We did find it, and it's just sitting in a jam. Which, I mean, is an interesting tactic, because I technically can't attack it if it's black flagged. Our army organizer died. Do we have another army organizer? We do not. So what does our force limit look like? Okay, so we're only over by 2, which is really not a big deal. What do we want instead? We can save money with land maintenance, fort defense, or morale, our +3 guys. We do have a +1 discipline guy, but I'm just going to take the morale for now. Just make our troops better. That works for me. We do not want the particularists here. Particularists aren't looking to try and break parts of the country away, and this is an area we want to take, so we definitely don't want them just to sit in play. Is that all they have? Most of their troops are in that stack. So I'm going to have to watch this stack until it randomly decides at some point that it doesn't want to be black flagged anymore. And typical, Poland is finally going to come over here right when I've shown up. What a waste of everybody's time. Oh well, we'll still siege it. We're over here now, so we might as well. Yep, there's a little sat there. We're going to sit next to it and just watch what it does. Are we going to get attrition off every province adjacent to this? No, we can sit in Sava and not have that happen. That's exactly what we're going to do. I turn the speed up to 3 now as well. We should be fine. Those rebels have gone. Let's take out that 1,000 stack that's just doing nothing. Yeah, I don't need to micro this to quite the same degree at this stage. We should be fine. I just wish I knew where that random stack of troops were. Netherlands are no longer considered a great power. Who replaced them? Oh yeah, Bohemia did. You get 5 years to become a great power again by development, and that clearly did not happen. We're number 1 now, by the skin of our teeth. From Russia, it's very, very close, but as we've seen, having the most development does not necessarily mean you have the biggest army. Speaking of, they're at war with Sweden, which means they're at war with Poland, which means Poland's about to get wrecked. And that is why I did not stay allied to Sweden, because you just knew it was going to happen. So Poland are going to get wrecked. So that is going to be an ally pretty much not involved in the equation anymore. So we're going to be able to keep Britain, we're going to be able to keep Portugal. If we're looking for a third ally, I think we're going to be struggling. I don't think there's a great pick. Also, I guess the reason why the Netherlands lost much development is because Liège took some off it. Yeah, so the Dutch aren't going to really be of any significance going forward. But we do have to watch Bohemia, because it's very apparent we're not going to want to ally them, even though we could if we ended this war. Because all that's going to do is put us in a place where we can't deal with Russia. We could become Defender of the Faith, but it's still probably not worth doing. Gives us better war stats, but yeah, not worth it. Pretty much been that way the entire game. Where we've had that option, we've just pretty much never done it. We can, though, once this stops moving, have autonomous sieging. Technically, they're going to come over here anyway if it's safe. But I want to explicitly mention that they should do it in case something gets desieged. And at this point, split that stack and split that stack, and we can now start autonomously sieging basically everything. I don't know where that other small number of troops are, but there's so few of them that I don't really foresee this being an issue. Again, I wish there was a shortcut for this, but I don't think there is, so we just have to keep clicking backwards and forwards. There we go. That'll start carpet sieging. Diodoro has finally been sieged out. No thanks to Poland. And I can't split this stack because they're mercenaries. Needless to say, they're not getting any land from this. Because they've done nothing. I'm not even tempted that I might not even end up sieging out Biapas. They are worth some more war score if I do, but they're not worth a huge amount. Same with that one province minor. I'm not tempted really either. I still can't believe we've not sieged one Moroccan province though. I don't know where Portugal have gone, but clearly they're not over here. You'd invite them in. They've just done nothing and they're all out of ideas. They only have 38 ships. I'm not even convinced I'm going to send a stack over here anymore. They're just not that dangerous at this stage. We're up to 82% war score. I might be able to piece them out pretty soon. They're still black flagged and they're just sitting over there. Also, a jam, why would you put your stack on top of mine and get us all attrition? Why would you have done that? Again, just AI things. They are coming back into their territory. So we need to go over there and intercept that. Because I don't want them to wreck my... Yeah, I don't want them to wreck my small stacks. So I'm going to move them away from the area. Meknes has finally been sieged. These two can now come back. I mean, I guess you can go that way. Fine. Are you also in this? Okay, no. That's a Russian vassal. That's fine. Not one of our problems. A Polish problem, yes, but not my problem. I mean, at this point, we just want to piece them out. We're at 21% on that war score. We should probably just get it done. I don't need anything from them, unless they want to give me something, which I'm sure they don't. Morocco would peace out already, even though we've accomplished practically nothing. But I'm just going to do that. That'll increase our war score too. Gonna take some money off them. That'll increase our war score to 97. Split this stack in half. That way we're not going to get attritioned as heavily. They're going to get black flagged anyway, but that's fine. I'm pretty content with this. I'm just going to wait for this one tick and see if we get it. And we didn't, so it's fine. Okay, let's peace out. So at 97%, what do we want? So we should take anything with a core, which we don't have. The next step would be taking anything with a claim. Which, I think there's 3 provinces we have a claim on. There are so many provinces that they own that scrolling through it takes an eternity. There we go. They're the 3 that we have a claim on. Do we have a claim on Algarbia too? Yeah, okay, so we had 4 we had a claim on. I don't think we've had a claim on anything else. I wish you could order it by claim, not just by name. Oh, I didn't know it. What about by overextension then? What's the most expensive? Obviously Constantinople's pretty expensive. We're definitely going to want it though. They have 2 buildings in that province, which is pretty cool. Obviously the Hagia Sophia and the Sultan Ahmed Mosque. We only get to pick one, I'm guessing, based on religion. Yeah, so if you were Muslim, you get this. If you're Christian, you get this. But if you had a syncretic faith that was either, you'd be able to get either or. Makes sense. Do they give the same bonus? No, they don't. That's interesting, too. Huh. Anyway, we're going to clearly want to take that, but I don't know if we're going to be taking it in this chunk. We might want to. What does the Thrace... Okay, it's all on this side. If I was to hypothetically do this, it would be 99% war score. But it would also be 105 base aggressive expansion. So, as tempting as that is, I can't do that yet, because I need to be able to get across there. So the next option would clearly be, do we want to take this? Which is also tempting. The Bulgarian culture is not really what I'm looking for. There's really only, so this state is all Bulgarian, and then you have a little bit of Bulgarian here, but there's not a huge amount of Bulgarian, so you're likely just going to convert it or just ignore it. This is all Greek, so clearly that's very helpful in terms of, well, we already have it as accepted culture. You don't necessarily have to take land by state either. So if we go by culture here, we could just do like this, 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 that, that. Might even not to take that yet because it's not on the sea, not coastal. And then we could just start taking things down here that's based on state. That would reduce the amount of ships we have to contend with too. So this is in the Maria state. It's worth something. Crete would be a little bit annoying to look after, but we might just increase its autonomy and accept that for what it is. So this... that is over 100% overextension, so we'll probably take Crete away. That would put us at 93. It's still 104 aggressive expansion. And it is just enough by the skin of its teeth to get Ajam to potentially go in the coalition. Do I care about that? Probably not, because they're so far away. But anybody else in there that I care about joining? Not really, because all the people that are already in there, like the Somalia that would now join. But again, do I care about that? Not particularly. How many troops do they even have? They do have 67,000 troops, but they're so far out of the way that I probably wouldn't have to worry about it. I'm just going to say it's fine, and I'm going to take war reparations as well. That's an exact 100. I don't have a diplomat to send, so I have to wait until we have one. That, and send. That's a lot of things going on. So first things first, for everything. Next thing we want to do. Mission fulfilled. Where is it? Invade Egypt. So we get 2 mercantilism and we get 50 trade power in the Alexandria trade node for 20 years, which is fine. Really, the mercantilism's the interesting bit there. The next mission down that tree, Terra Santa, requires everything in 3 different areas to be ours, which is basically just this. Which we can certainly work on. Somalia still doesn't have a mutual border with us, and they do like us. They won't. Like, once the month ticks over, they will hate us. They are very, very big. But I wonder if they're quite unstable. We'll see. I'm sure I'm going to have to deal with them at some point. We could ally Kilwa if we wanted something to kind of block Somalia with. But right now we don't need to do that, and I don't want to spend more diplomatic points than we need to. These guys, I want to make sure that they stay in the black flagged region so I can have them walk across the border. That. Because I don't want them to sit here. We already have a stack sat here. We don't need more troops than that right now in this area. This stack needs to come back. This stack needs to come back. We're going to have to juggle where everything is, because that's what happens after every war, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. These 2 can come down here, as can this stack. Then the 30,000 can come over here. Now, I'm sure what's going to happen is the AI is going to go, I don't know where anything is, and then half the troops will just stop moving. So we want to watch this column down the right-hand side. These 2 can stay where they are. Okay. So, our naval fleet. Go back to Corsica for now, because it's easy to see. How is our naval limit now? We're still over by only by 7. We're inside our force limit by the skin of our teeth. We can make states. I mean, the Languedoc state has to happen. It's worth 116 development. It's enormous. So that's going to happen now. I don't even know if we're going to be able to call them all. Okay, we did. We're clearly going to want to make Montpellier. Montpellier? Yes. We're going to give that a seat at Parliament. That's going to give us some big numbers. We do have some pretty high value state locations we haven't stated yet, but that was the big one. We wanted to do it before I forgot. And we want to move everything back. So we're going to speed 4 for a moment. And we're just going to let these troops move so we can work out where we want to put them. Properly, anyway. Because we're clearly going to have to get a lot of rebel fighting units in place. Okay, so this stack's finally stopped moving. I'm sure that's just Gascony. Okay, they've stopped moving, that's fine. They can stop there. It is Gascony with 3,000 rebels. They'll be able to fix that in a minute. The 23k stack has stopped moving. That's absolutely fine in terms of location. We'll put it down here, in fact, and put yours over here. A few extra troops in Africa probably isn't a bad idea. We'll get Cephalonia converted. They are Orthodox at the moment. I had a brain fart and couldn't remember the word, so they're going to be slightly resistant, but not enormously so. That other 5k stack has finally stopped moving as well, so we can combine these together. Yeah, high overextension. Again, at least it's not a 3-digit number. We can seize land if we want to because they love us, so we're going to. We now own 96% of the land. I don't want to take any of their privileges away. That's fine for now. Okay, so we've got 32,000 troops down here in Greece. A lot of our stacks have stopped moving at this point. So 26 is there. 25 is where we want it. These 9k stacks can all combine together and now move to Thessalonica. That's perfect. This 23k stack can have a military leader because we have a spare one. And we look like we're reasonably tidy at this point. There's still a couple of the stacks that need to move around and do the Charleston to get into place. 36k stack is now in place. Perfect. This is perfect. That's perfect. We lost our CB against Russia. Don't care. That's not a priority right now. What is a priority? I guess we'll go into the coalition map mode again for a moment. Spain's not in a coalition against us at the moment. Austria can't join one for 9 years. The Ottomans can't join one for 15 years. So we don't have to declare on Spain straight away. We can, but we don't have to. So I'm probably going to wait to get things cored first, so I don't go too crazy. I also would like, if I could, and it's going to be a challenge, I'd love to get Portugal in on Spain, but it's very, very unlikely. They are best friends, even if they're not allied. Poland is getting wrecked right now. We might end up losing our alliance with them. Britain is simultaneously in debt and has a bit of a meanie. King George III is a meanie, apparently. So doesn't want to play ball. But yes, Poland is getting wrecked by Russia. Clearly, this is our big threat to our society long term. So the only way that we're going to be able to handle it is to really try and eat as much land as we can, probably in France. There's probably some here as well. We're going to try and get all the Greek land. And then I'm hoping we're in a state where we can still deal with Russia. They're pretty much going to be pumping troops out for the rest of time. So we're going to have to deal with them at some point. And as Napoleon found out, really the biggest issue with taking them on is just the sheer amount of land. It's really, really tricky to deal with. But we'll have to deal with that another time. This is a natural end to this episode. So hopefully you did enjoy. And we will take things up again next episode. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now. Thank you for watching the video. And if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.